Hello, welcome to the channel QPK News. Please subscribe to the channel to follow the latest news of the day. Ex-girlfriend's son Ye Jin was in a difficult situation, and he needed to locate the most qualified attorney in all of Korea to represent his ex-girlfriend. Son Ye Jin was in a difficult situation, and he needed to find an attorney to represent his ex-girlfriend. What exactly is going on with the fact that Son Ye Jin is starting to look like the most likely culprit in an investigation? After a spate of productions with titles like I'm Sorry, I Love You and Master's Son, So Ji-sub made the decision to return to the big screen with The Notion of Confession, which revolves around the process of unraveling a secret. After Glass Shoes tore the audience to shreds in the role of a parent in the movie And You Will Come, which he starred in with Son Ye Jin, it is anticipated that this role will mark the beginning of his transformation into the male god Glass Shoes. Glass Shoes tore the audience to shreds in the role of a parent in the movie And You Will Come. The story of Yoo Min-ho is shown in the motion picture The Invisible Killer, which is an adaptation of the film Invisible Guest from Spain, 2017. A role that was done by So Ji-sub. An inquiry is being conducted into the possible murder of an up-and-coming director at a software business. This director's reputation is impeccable. The circumstances surrounding the death of Yoo Min-ho's mistress in a hotel room are currently the subject of an inquiry. In spite of the fact that he persistently asserts that he is innocent, there is a mountain of evidence that points unequivocally in the direction of him being the guilty individual. There is no evidence that there was a break-in or the entrance of a third person because the victim is Se-hee, played by Nana, who is Min-ho's lover. Se-hee is also the only person in the room at the time of the incident. The male protagonist, on the other hand, is currently involved in a case that is being heard in a private chamber. Yoo Min-ho engages the services of the well-known legal representative Yang Sin-ae, who is portrayed by Kim Yoon-jin, so that he can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is innocent of the charges against him. When Yang Sin-ae initially began working on the case, the first thing she did was to question Yoo Min-ho about the events that had taken place to her and demand that she reveal the truth. This was done so that she could provide her client with a higher level of assistance in removing the suspect. On the other hand, it would appear that the businessman Yoo is concealing certain information from his attorney. In addition to being based on a murder that actually occurred, this film was awarded the top prize for Best Director in the Directors' Week competition of the Oporto Fantasporto International Film Festival. The film was based on a murder that occurred in real life. A variety of well-known performers, such as So Ji-sub, Nana, Kim Yoon-jin, and others, all make cameos in this film. The debut of the film is slated to take place on the 9th of December in the year 2022. After encountering an obstacle on the road to romantic fulfillment, Joong Ki has made up his mind to find another way to exact vengeance on Hyun Bin and Son Ye Jin. Despite the fact that Joong Ki's marriage isn't quite as successful as Hyun Bin's, his films have achieved the same level of fame as those of his predecessors in the industry. Since the beginning of the run of the show, viewers have continually demonstrated a significant amount of interest in Joong Ki's performance as the youngest son of a billionaire. This interest has not diminished over time. Not only did the film frequently break its own record for box office receipts, but it also performed better than a number of well-known films that had been released in years previous. The exploits of the tycoon's youngest son, who is also the youngest son of the tycoon, made headlines not too long ago, and they blew away the general public. The outcome of this was that the 8th episode of the drama received a rating of 19.5% across the nation, which is an increase of 3.4% when compared to the rating that it received for the episode before it. The ratings for the drama in the metropolitan area of Seoul were 21.8%, which represented a rise of 3.8% in comparison to the numbers for the episode that aired before it. As a direct consequence of this, the ratings for the show about the youngest son of the tycoon have never experienced a decline from the time it initially went on the air until the present day. The film is by far the most well-liked of the cable shows that are broadcast at the same time as the movie. The film The Youngest Tycoon had the highest rating in 2022, receiving 19.5% out of a maximum score of 100%. This made it the top-rated movie that year. Because of this rating, it was ranked higher than Woo Young-woo, The Strange Female Lawyer, which only scored 17.5%. The most recent film that Song has directed, titled Joong Ki, is currently enjoying a comfortable position on the list of the highest-rated dramas in the history of cable television. In terms of viewership, The Youngest Son of the Millionaire trails behind only World of the Married, 28.4%, Sky Castle, 23.8%, and Landing on You, 21.7%. As the anticipation for and interest in the film increases, it is hoped that The Youngest Son of the Tycoon will be able to bring in a higher number of spectators. Even in the following week, it is likely that the picture would perform better than the film Crash Landing on You, which was directed by the married couple Hyun and son Ye Jin. Both films were produced by CJ Entertainment. Fans of Song Joong Ki are overjoyed by the success that his youngest son, who is also a billionaire, achieved by Blazing. In addition to that, Under the Shadow of the Central Palace, the most serious rival of The Youngest Tycoon, has also arrived at its climax. Song Joong Ki's performance was rated substantially higher than the film's total rating of 16.9%, but the latter was received. Because of this, the youngest son of the business magnate deserves to be a monument that causes many projects that will be broadcast later to be afraid in the competition for the title of finest movie that will be published between November and December of this year. The film The Youngest Boy of the Wealthy House is still a topic that creates a lot of talk at the present moment among those who are fans of Korean cinema.